Our second senior, accompanied by Ann Martinez and Ryan Dodd Jr., Alonzo Dodd. Any seniors tonight? Our next senior, accompanied by Casey Simpel, Sean West Simpel. Our next senior, accompanied by Ray Harmon, Tay Harmon. Next up, accompanied by Hessa King, Keon Moore. Our next senior, accompanied by Tanya Mua, Kaden Mua. Next up, accompanied by Terica Harris, Trey Harmon. Our managers, first accompanied by Kevin Flippin Sr., Kevin Flippin Jr. Next up, accompanied by South St. Paul alumni and legend Marquise Gleb, Charles Mudgett. Next up, accompanied by Vanessa and Ian Belmaris, Serenity Belmaris. Our next manager, accompanied by Jennifer Gleb, Gabrielle Jones. Our final manager, accompanied by Ben Wagner, Peyton Wagner. And our final senior, accompanied by Mary Boyce and Fantasia Newsom, Devin Newsom. Let's hear it for our seniors, managers, and players. What a good season they've had.
All right, there we have it, the 2022 South St. Paul Packers seniors. That was all players and managers. Quite the lineup. Strung across midcourt right now. The graduating class of 2023. No, 22. That's this year. Yes, 2022. 3 minutes left until we tip off here at South St. Paul High School. We're going to mute the audio again. We'll be right back for the start of this Metro East Conference boys basketball game right here on the Pan.
Competition Gym at South St. Paul High School for tonight's hardwood matchup. This contest features a visiting North St. Paul Polars, coached by Cornelius Gilliam. They will battle with Coach Darren Edwards and your undefeated South St. Paul Packers. Now, we ask you to rise, remove your hats, and face the east end of the building for our national anthem. Reminding tonight's contest an extension of the classroom. One of the goals of high school athletics is learning lifetime values. When coaches, players, fans, and parents show respect for others by practicing proper sportsmanship, lifelong lessons are learned. Please support our two teams and our officials by offering positive praise throughout tonight's contest. Now, let's meet the starting lineup for tonight's visiting North St. Paul Polars. Starting at guard for North St. Paul, number 2, Jaquan Wright. Also guard for the Polars, number 3, Demarian Suttles. At board for North St. Paul, number 12, Casanova Edwards. The Polars' fourth starters, number 21, Javon Jackson. Drawing up the starters for North St. Paul, number 32, Tyler Conway. And now, let's make some noise for your South St. Paul Packers. And guard for the Packers, senior number 1, Hoffman Hussein. Another guard for South St. Paul, senior number 5, Tay Harmon. Another guard for the Packers, senior number 21, Trey Harmon. The Packers' fourth starter is a senior, number 10, Keon Moore. Your final starter for the Packers is a senior, number 2, Alonzo Don. Your fifth general, Jordan White, Mike Smith, and Tino Hansen. Let's play Packers.
There you have it. That was PA announcer Chris Bakken getting us started, and we are just seconds away from late season Metro East Conference boys basketball here on the Packer Activities Network of Ham. Thank you to everyone for tuning in tonight, especially those watching from up north versus south tonight. The Polars in to take on the Packers. The undefeated South St. Paul Packers at that, 23-0 coming into tonight. We're here to bring you tonight's action. I am Tyler LaRose here on the Packer Activities Network. As John Moore steps in to jump it off with Javon Jackson, senior versus senior. Senior heavy starting lineups for both squads right now. Jackson gets it, but ends up tipping it to Harmon. Drives right at the top of the key. collects a bobble, dishes to the corner to his brother, and Tay nearly turns it over. South St. Paul holds on to possession, though. Alonzo Dodd, the highly touted senior. Inbounds, that's stolen right away. That's number 12, Casanova Edwards. Leads to a quick layup. Given going a fast break. Edwards putting the Polars on the board first tonight. Long skip from Dodd to Harmon. Hussein from the wing. Three-pointer long. Trey Harmon nearly gathered the rebound. Poked away by Edwards, I believe. Now here's Dodd. Being pestered by number 2, Jaquan Wright. Hand in there on the layup attempt, and now the Polars look to start their first offensive possession, but turn the ball over instead. Hussein through the contact. Gave the universal sign for I was fouled. Nothing called, though. Not much going yet for the Packers. This is Demarion Suttles. It off to right, drives right. Kicks to the corner. Three-pointer from number 43. I don't have a 43 in my program. Just have to figure out who that is. Is that Tyler Conway? It might be Tyler Conway. So I don't believe there's number 32 on the court. For some reason, he changed jerseys. He was announced as one of the starters. So we're going to go with that. We're going to go with number 42 being Tyler Conway, if I am wrong. And you're watching this right now. That's what the comment section is for. Suttles inbounds. Right. Standing on the Bull logo. Crossover tries to shake Hussein. Hussein, both men hitting the deck. It's going to be an early held ball. Wright and Tay Harmon. Wright tried his best to get rid of Sheikh Hafid Hussein. To no avail. Hussein ended up poking the ball away. Good quickness by both on that exchange. There goes the person who we assume to be Tyler Conway. Gets the ball back up to the top of the key. Is Wright. Back to Suttles. Feeds it into the post. Number 21, Javon Jackson. He converts. Some early 4-0 lead for the Polars here in the competition gym at South St. Paul High School. South St. Paul donning the new ice. Maybe they're not new anymore. The yellow unis that they got at the beginning of the season. North in the white. Harmon kicks out to Hussein in the corner. Long on the three again is the senior, Hafid Hussein. Tay Harmon this time. He's fouled on the way down. Jaquan Wright got him. Got him on the arm. And as basketball is evolving now to be much more three-point shot oriented, you see those shooters, any sort of contact on the arm or the lower body on the way down, they exaggerate it and get the call, as Harmon did there. Hits the first. This is Ramonte Harmon. And Keon forgot how many free throws there were. There's a third on the line here. For Tay Harmon, number 5. Now Keon can go get it. Tay hits 2 of 3. And then good speed by Jaquan Wright, bringing that ball up the court, eluding a couple of traps from the Packers, but ultimately throwing it out of bounds to South St. Paul. And here comes the senior Alonzo Dodd. Looks to shake Edwards to no avail. Dodd's going to pull up for 3 with Edwards in his face. Just long on that one again. quick feed of Hafid Hussein stealing up and under attempt. Layup attempt from Hussein doesn't go. Harmon is rejected by Jackson. Dodd unable to get the putback. And now another scrum. Hussein keeps it alive. And then a turnover. Moore trying to get that ball into Trey Harmon. And then that turnover answered just as quickly by another turnover from North. So both teams starting out this game a bit more sloppy than their respective head coaches, Cornelius Gillian and Darren Edwards, would like. Almost 4 minutes in, only 6 total points on the board. And there's another turnover. Tay Harmon bouncing off of his leg last. And now some full court pressure from the yellow team. Just a little bit. Hussein going to pick up right at 3/4 court. Slow down the quick senior guard, Jaquan Wright. Here's Jackson in the elbow. Mismatch certainly with Hussein on his shoulder. Shot long. And nope, false alarm, not the first sub of the night. That was Keon Moore running in front of the scorer's table. Here comes Dodd. Man-to-man defense by the Polars. Harmon to Dodd. In and out on the layup. Dodd unable to hit through a little bit of contact. No call. Right, knifing his way through a handful of Packers. And able to get that one to come off of Moore last. Now here comes some subs. Here comes Devin Newsom, typical starter, and Caden Mua. South St. Paul now with a much more traditional starting five. Giving Trey Harmon and Hafid Hussein some senior night love. It is senior night. Tuned into the Rose presentation. Each player and one family member, including managers, senior managers, 3 or 4 senior managers, I believe, on this 2022 squad. A 5-second closely guarded call. Harmon on Puddles. Wright drives in, throws it into Alonzo Dodd's arm, and here comes South St. Paul in the break. Just a lot of contact underneath. Nothing called, and then Edwards loses it on the other end, going up for the layup. North will hang on to possession, so still, as we sit here with 12 and a half minutes left in this half, 6 total points. More turnovers than points so far in this game. Jackson to Wright, back to Suttles. Off on the 3-point attempt, kept alive by Conway. Again, we believe that is Tyler Conway, number 43. He was announced with the... So as Dodd steals, goes up with the right hand, up and under. Mua finishes with the left. Cleans up the offensive glass and levels this game at 4 as we tick under 12 minutes to go in the first half. Right again. Just slicing through yellow jerseys and forces the contact. Not in the act of shooting. That is going to go on Devin Newsom. Some size now. Emmanuel Ajayi checking in for the Polars. And he gets the early post feed. Unable to work over the top of Keon Moore, who nearly turns it over at midcourt. Again, a near turnover by Mua. And that half-court defense from Jaquan Wright is just absolutely fierce so far to start this game. He is not letting anyone in yellow past him without a deflection on the ball as Dodd drives left and is hit on the arm. Senior Alonzo Dodd will get a couple of free throws here. The 2022 Minnesota Mr. Basketball finalist. One of the top players in the state by almost every measure. Except that free throw. That did not go in. Long on the shot. Dodd hits his second, and that puts South St. Paul in the for the first time tonight. Trapped in the backcourt, and that's going to force a timeout from head coach Cornelius Gillian. He is assisted by Nigel Sharper and Charles Patrick. Dylan Brennan as the JV coach, Gavin Graham, Mikhail Twyman, and that's it. That rounds out the North coaching staff. South St. Paul led by Darren Edwards and Paul Miller. Adam King, Robert Eppinger Ross, Witternach, and Steve Priestley round out the coaching staff for the Packers, who we are starting to see apply a little bit more pressure. For the game so far has been this three-quarter court press from both teams. Each one trading blows with the other, frustrating the offense. And certainly, I've watched the South St. Paul team quite a bit this year. They're a team that loves to push the ball up and down the court. And it would seem certainly that Coach Gillian, his guys, especially Jaquan Wright, we're going to stop that. And so far it's working. 5-4 as we approach 11 minutes to go in the first half. South St. Paul considering a trap on the wing. Kick out to Nino Johnson, short on the three. Newsom out to Moore, short on his three. No one touches that ball as it goes out of bounds to the Polars. Back to right now from Suttles. Ajayi. Good look down low to Snova Edwards, and the senior is fouled on the way up by Dodd. Dodd had a momentary look in his face like that wasn't a foul, but looked like he might have ripped the hand away after he got the ball. Snova Edwards. Short on the first is the Polar senior. For 2 goes Edwards, and South St. Paul now, as North is unable to get any pressure off the missed free throw, moves the ball right up the court, gets into more of an offensive flow, and more sent back by Johnson. Good help side defense by Nino Johnson, senior. Kept alive by Newsom. I think it's the putback. And then right again, Jaquan Wright causing even more problems for the Packer defense. Draws a foul on Devin Newsom. That is Devin Newsom's second foul. He's going to leave the game for Sean West Zimpel. Another senior, number 4. West Zimpel in. And that could potentially become an early storyline in this one. Devin Newsom's 2 personal fouls. 3 by Johnson. Misses long. Not that one. It's Demarion Suttles. He hits the 3 to level the game back at 7. West to Mua, guarded by Wright. Kick out back to West in the corner. West attacks, kicks back out to Mua, who's off again. So an off night shooting so far for the Packers. North this time moves the ball up quickly, and a good pump fake by Edwards. Regains the lead for the Polars. Sidesteps the defender. A bit wild on the layup attempt though. Here comes Ajayi. Decides he's going to take it himself all the way. Kicks out to Johnson, long on the 3. Rebounded by Wright. Way long on the 2. Nothing there. Pulls up. Kate Rua. Correction, that was West. It was announced as West. We're going to give that one to Sean West, his impel. As Ajayi uncovered in the post. Can't collect. Might have gotten away with the travel. Kicks out another hit from Suttles. On Suttles. Maybe starting to warm up for North. Let's see if South has an answer. Dodd over to West. Step back from West. Yes. Suttles and West trading 3-point blows here. Halfway through the first half. From Wright, tried to find Suttles. Who decided to try and cut to the basket instead. So the Packers with a 1-point lead, hoping to really, for the first time in this game, build some offensive momentum, consistency in their offensive set. Finds Harmon. Nifty pass from senior to senior. Hey, Harmon. Now, bit of a transition set here from North as Ajayi goes up and is fouled. Alonzo Dodd, and that's his second foul too. So, two of the best players in the area. Alonzo Dodd and Devin Newsom, each having 2 fouls. Early in this game, as you see Dodd talking to the official before he checks out. In comes Trey Harmon. South St. Paul with their 2 leading scorers now is going to have to potentially weather a bit of a storm here. Both free throws good. And these 2 teams continuing to trade punches, just as they've done all night here on the Packer Activities Network, rather. Trey Harmon, nearly poked away by Jackson. Javon Jackson, number 21, guarding his counterpart, number 21. Smooth by West. Wiggles through a couple of white jerseys. Finishes with his dominant left hand. And a quick transition passing leads to a pretty easy bucket for Javon Jackson. So both teams having been known for their tempo on offense, but North so far is the team really winning that. As Trey Harmon banks one in over Javon Jackson. Unsure if we call it bank. We'll investigate that at halftime. As West steals and converts, and then nearly does force a steal rather, over to Harmon. Gives it back to West, so number 4 in yellow, Sean West Zintel, going on a mini run of his own here so far. Answered by, find who that was. Is that number 13? It's number 13, Josiah Gates. As North waits for Johnson to get back on defense. No, that's Jackson rather. Von Jackson hit the floor hard on defense. Got up a little stiff. West perhaps tried to go to the well one too many times. Bounces it off his own foot out of bounds. Up on 5 minutes to go in the first half. South St. Paul holding on to a 3-point lead, but if there's a storyline so far, it's that Alonzo Dodd and Devin Newsom both have 2 fouls. They have 4 of the 5 Packer fouls, as here comes Trey Hunt. 4 right there, Sean West Zintel carrying the Packers so far offensively. And Tay Hartman long on the 3, and that'll be a foul on his brother. Trey wrapped up the rebounder there. That might have been Johnson, Nino Johnson. Went to get the rebound, and Harmon had 2 arms around him. Comes Jaquan Wright. Buttles passes on the corner 3, tries to drive, and kicks back out after some contact. Right to Johnson. Drives in. Looked like he might have gotten away with a push-off there, but certainly some contact on the drive in too by, that's Keon Moore. His first. Comes Nino Johnson to the line for 2. He is also a senior. Not sure that this game has featured yet any underclassmen for either team. I might be wrong. If I am, again, get in on that comment section, people. We see you watching out there. Feel free to chime in with your thoughts on the game, your candidates for the Pan Player of the Game. At the conclusion of this one, Tay Harmon tries to dribble in from the right corner. Pump fake up and under. High off the glass. Some contact. Harmon went to the floor. Looked like maybe that was Edwards who got away with a little bit of a shove there. But officiating tonight, consistently letting the guys on each side on the drive use their hands a little bit to defend themselves. Edwards out to Johnson. Long on his 3. Ajayi and Wright able to keep it alive. Johnson hesitates, thinks about a 3. Gives it up to Ajayi, who steps back. Some groans when Ajayi pulled up for that one. Not sure. There's White that didn't expect the big man to pull up for 3. He's off, and that leads to a quick and 1 for Tay Harmon. As Ajayi picks up the foul on the other end. And senior Tay Harmon just to extend the Packer lead. From the line. Hits. And now South St. Paul able to get back into their characteristic 3-quarter press. Right, frustrated by Trey Harmon all the way up. Settles for 3, just long. Good look. Rebounded by West. steps back through three and stays hot. Sean West Zimpel already up to 15 points in this game. Be a senior playing on senior night. Seems like that sort of thing tends to happen. Alonzo Dodd, who is back in the game now. This is the West, who pulls up again and nearly got that one to spin back in. Almost got the sand wedge out. Spun that one back in, but Conway to right. Back to Conway on the other side block. And Casanova Edwards sticks with it. Strong rebound and put back by the senior. Here comes Newsom, who's also back in the game. This guy snuck back in on me. West heat check three again off. So 2 in a row off of the iron for Sean West Zimpel. But he's going to steal that one. And misses the finger roll. Kind of just wanted to pad the rebounding stats a little bit to go with the shooting so far tonight. Gets an offensive rebound and is able to put it back. I'm not sure what his thought process was. You always wonder on a fast break if they're going to try and dunk it. Decided to go up for the finger roll and just spun it off the front of the rim. But fortunately for him, his 16th and 17th points of the night look like any other 2 points in the scorebook. Johnson from the corner off of a screen set by Edwards. Nino Johnson hits. Smooth shot from the senior. Got Johnson open. And Trey Harmon drives in. He will be followed by Johnson. A little bit of a hip check. Slash trip. Speaking of slash, South St. Paul girls hockey team tonight. State quarterfinal matchup against Laverne. They are probably on the ice by now. 8 o'clock start at the XL Energy Center. And you better believe that I will be watching that game here in a separate window and giving updates. Packer girls hockey looking for another deep run through the state tournament. It certainly looked like he was held there by Trey Harmon. Nothing called. Here comes Tay. Harmon to Harmon. Hard to argue that Wright wasn't held, though, by Harmon as that press started to develop back around the backcourt free throw line. Although officials still letting the guys play, which has been consistent. No problems there. Look by Suttles, but just unable to hit on the little runner from about 5 feet. West passes up on the three, looks in to Newsom, who's fouled and hits. Strong finish by Devin Newsom through contact from a couple of Polar defenders. Foul ultimately given to Jaquan Wright. Misses. Long on the free throw. I wonder. Everyone seems to be missing long tonight, as North, you would figure, is going to hold for the last shot. I wonder if the rim's a couple inches low or something. Long on that one again. And doing there after the fact. Zimpel crashing the floor. And that will bring us to halftime here at the South St. Paul High School competition gym. We've got a good one here. Packers extend the lead to 9 points as the half ends. As we see Coach Gillian, a couple of coaches talking to the refs. Hard to decipher what they're talking about. Maybe contact, maybe anything else. Maybe they're talking about the state hockey tournament. Doubt it, but you never know, they could be. So we're going to go ahead and mute the audio here as the halftime music kicks in. Tune in for the second half. Might simulcast everyone watching tonight. Spotlight has on their Minnesota State High School League channel the girls' quarterfinal hockey game for free tonight. We'll be watching that. You'll hopefully be watching that, and you'll be right back here for the second half of Polars and Packers here on the Packer Activities Network. Back here on the Packer Activities Network for the second half of this basketball game, and you know what we're going to try? We're going to, for the first time ever, we're turning on the webcam. Here I am, up in the top left corner. This is me. I'm Tyler LaRose. You can find me on Twitter if you really, really want to, @Coach_LaRose. We've got second half coming up, and late run by the Packers. Give them this 9-point lead that you see at the half. South St. Paul spent a good majority of, not majority, but a good chunk of the middle of that half with the top two scorers, Devin Newsom and Alonzo Dodd, on the bench with 2 fouls each. However, Sean West Zimpel almost single-handedly put the Packers on his back as he dropped 17 first half points to keep his side on top. Scoring distribution for the Polars, much more equitable. Demarion Suttles, Casanova Edwards, and Javon Jackson, each with 6 points. A handful of other Polars getting into the scoring column. So Zimpel scoring nearly half of his team's points in this first half. Hard to argue that the Packers didn't need that sort of effort, as really no one else on the team has gotten their shot going yet. We do have Tay Harmon with 9 points, largely on fast break layups. As we get started to get ready to start the second half, rather, let's turn off the debut Packer Activities Network inside the booth webcam. For those of you that recognize this, yes, I am just sitting up against the wall. And here comes your second half basketball. South St. Paul starts it off. Brings it up. Collects back from West. Thought about the three, passes it to Harmon, who thinks extra hard about a three. West misses a layup look, but sticks with it again, gets his own rebounds. A couple times tonight that Sean West has missed an easier look, gotten his rebound, and converted the harder of the two looks. And now a double-digit lead for the Packers. Quick held ball. Sneaking in to force the tie-up is Tay Harmon, number 5 in yellow. Packers starting this half with a more traditional starting 5 than they did the first half, with this being senior night. A couple of usual non-starters got to take the floor first, and now some high pressure from the Packers. Wright, who ran most of the Polars' offense in the first half, on the wing, over to Conway. Back to Jackson. Looks inside to Edwards, unable to. Thinks about a three, now steps back, thinks again. Dodd keeps it alive. Out to Mua, long on the three. Another offensive rebound, this one by Newsom. Nice up and under from Harmon. Quick look down to the low block by Mua to get the cutting Harmon the ball, and that's going to force the Polars into an early timeout in this second half. This means it's time officially for shout-outs. And none other than head coach of the Packer football team, Manny Spragle, who sent me a picture of what looks like him and his family eating, I want to say maybe nachos? I don't know. He's wearing a hockey pullover, and they've got this game on the cell phone on the table in the picture. So shout out to Coach Spragle. And certainly the shout out of all shout outs tonight goes to that South St. Paul girls hockey team, who is just minutes away from kicking off their state Class A quarterfinal matchup against the Laverne Cardinals at the XL Energy Center. That game set to face off in just about 8 minutes. You can find that game for free on Prep Spotlight TV, prepspotlight.tv /MSHSL. Prep Spotlight TV, Minnesota State High School League channel. For free, $0 to watch some state hockey tonight. The Packers, the 4 seed, taking on the Cardinals, the 5 seed, at the home of the Wild. Ball foul called. Wright's third foul. Third foul on Jaquan Wright. Pulls up from 3 long again. Again, my theory is that the rims are about an inch lower. Maybe not as Newsom hits. Seen both teams missing long tonight. Except Devin Newsom on that one. Lead up to 16 now for the Packers. Good fake by Jackson, yeah. Sticks with it, gets his own miss. Or as we call it tonight, pulls to Sean West, gets his own miss and hits. And there is Sean West finishing the reverse layup and picking up a free throw. As we talk about the Packer girls hockey team tonight, just minutes away from their puck drop in the state tournament. This basketball team, hard to argue that they don't have a similar run on their minds. Granted, still plenty of season left, a couple weeks of regular season left. Boys high school basketball campaign, but yet to lose a game are these Packers. And they've been ranked in the top 3 in the Class 3A all season long. Prove another point tonight as they keep extending their lead slowly but surely. Good pump fake by Wright. Shakes his defender, but able to hit the jumper. And there's Dodd on the other end. Takes it coast to coast, as you heard PA announcer Chris Bakken mention. Strong rebound by Dodd, and then a missile down the court to Tay, who goes high off the glass. West unable to get the putback attempt after a slapped backboard, which for the record, because I hear the crowd grumble every time it happens, is totally legal. Some of the larger TV networks, which we will not name here on the Packer Activities Network, but they'll bring in their rules analysts, their former officials, to discuss rules. Well, I'm that guy also. I am myself a Minnesota basketball official. Ref 7 games last week, if you want proof. Busy week last week for me. 7 games, including 3 doubleheaders, JV Varsity. Totally legal to slap the backboard as Wright hits a 3. Cuts the lead to 15. As long as you're slapping the backboard to make an attempt on a play, 100% legal. And every time it happens, half the crowd starts to grumble. Totally legal. Now, if you were to just jump up and smack it because you're mad or something, likely a technical foul. Obviously, no hanging on the rim unless there is a risk to a player's safety, including the guy hanging on the rim. We saw that in the JV game tonight. Polar went up for a putback dunk. Had a couple yellow jerseys under his feet, so he hung onto the rim for an extra second to make sure no one got kicked in the face. From the crowd just now. Young man asking where he could find a program. Activities Network always helps out the children. Edwards hits his second free throw. And South St. Paul now electing to slow the game down. Dodd calls a play. Something off the screen for Dodd, or a curl around for West. Newsom's going to pull up for three and hit. And that's, say, having refed, I've refed Columbia Heights boys varsity team. I've refed Totino Grace. They've got the size, those two teams do. That'll be, as potential section matchups start to materialize. They don't have guys on their teams that can do that. What Sean West Zimpel just did, and what Devin Newsom did just before him. This South St. Paul team is a team that can bring 6-7 guys that at any time can absolutely light it up from anywhere on the court. And that is something they have that no other team in Class 3A has right now, that I've seen this year. Timeout taken by the Polars. And that puts us 2 minutes officially from the opening face-off at the XL Energy Center. The event is live. I'm going to officially split screen here. A split screen, we are going to the hockey game up here on the right half of my screen. Running the broadcast software on the left half. Pushing these screens so the hockey game's a little bigger. That's better. That's more like it. Take a screenshot and post what this looks like. First priority tonight, finish out this game as Dodd steals, takes it all the way himself. Leading out to 22. I think I'm good enough, nor do I have a good enough view of this game so far in the state. It's like an overhead shot so far. Hopefully they throw on a more traditional camera angle, center line. Looks like that game time has been pushed back to 8:15 p.m. That means we try and see this basketball game out. Yep, Zamboni's on the ice. Be underway in about 15 minutes as soon as that fresh layer gets put down. Here comes a fresh dude of his own, Alonzo Dodd. Pressure from the Packers, nearly forcing a backcourt violation. Jackson has it poked away, and Newsom quickly ahead up to West. Mua tries to shake Gates, does, but unable to finish with the right hand. Johnson over to Jackson. Might have traveled, might have not traveled. Is able to find Casanova Edwards, who hits. Looks like he's the leading scorer so far for the Polars. He got 9 on the night. See anyone else that's making a run for that title. Stolen away by Jackson. Looks down low to Edwards, but too hot and too high was the pass. Good by Keon Moore. And again, to continue that discussion I was having with all of you, not really a discussion, you were just listening to me. There's not another team around in Class 3A that has 6'7" guys. 6 or 7 guys, not 6'7" guys, that can light it up. So these guys in this gym in a section game, pretty tough to defend. They push the ball up and down the court, and when they are on, they do not miss. Found it to Edwards. Right from the left key. Ajayi over to Suttles. Back to right. Silver pulls up from about 20. Air ball. He's going to hear about that a little bit. Good crowd tonight. Side of the bleachers here. Pretty full. Pretty full. North bringing a good contingent. We got an assistant coach or someone behind the bench for North, leading a defense channel by himself. Hard to say who that is, but he's into it. Nice move by Moore to bounce it off the leg of Josiah Gates. 5 for the Packers. Newsome, who's got a Ajayi. No, that's not a Ajayi. That is number 20. That's Paul Badio. Odd pulls up for 3 short. Collects the board. Another Dodd 3. That one rattles in from deep. He's about to make a shot clock reference because that's coming in 2 seasons. Not next season, but the season after that. There will be a shot clock in high school basketball. Boys and girls, 35-second clock. Something that we officials are discussing every time we get together, what that's going to mean for the game. What it's going to mean for coaching, what it's going to mean for the playing, what it's going to mean for the pace of the game, and the scoreboards. What it's going to mean for schools financially. Every school in the state is going to have to buy a shot clock. 2 shot clocks, one for each end of the gym. Dodd comes away from the scrum with the ball. Pulls up with a hand in his face. Does Alonzo Dodd. And he's going to draw a foul. That is Suttles. Who was on, slapped him on the arm. And Alonzo Dodd now. Taps up and hits the first. Tell you what, folks, somebody needs to, one of these days, call Alonzo Dodd and give him some money to play college basketball. 'Cause this guy's got it. He's got some offer under the table. He's keeping a secret. So far, really nothing for the Mr. Basketball candidate in terms of the college front. I have to think that'll be changing quickly, though. Harmon muscling his way to an offensive rebound down low off the miss by Dodd. 6-point lead now for the Packers. Dodd looks to ISO. Tries to shake. And does. Dodd didn't collect all 3 from the free throw line just a second ago, so he says, well, 3 this time. Dodd now up to, I think that says 13 for the night. Quiet 13. So a couple of officials was reffing, where were we? We were at St. Anthony doing a varsity girls game a couple weeks ago. Guys, I'd never worked with him before, but he knows all the big names in high school basketball. He keeps up very closely on the top players in the state, boys and girls. He asked me if Dodd had gotten any offers yet, and I said not that anyone knows of. Pretty active on social media as Dodd. Nothing from him so far. Asked me why that could be, given how many of these games I've watched. And I said, I don't know. He'll put up 22. As Dodd looks like he got his back stepped on. Foul pops up quick enough. Dodd is like, you come watch the guy. Then all of a sudden you look up at the scoreboard and realize he's got 15, averaging 18 points a night this year. Not a loud, flashy scorer. He just gets the ball in the hoop. Phenomenal passer, terrific pace on and off the ball. Good defender. What the thought was to this other guy was just a quiet, excellent basketball player. He's okay blending in, passing the ball when he needs to, rebounding. Doesn't take a million shots. But someone's going to offer him. Somebody's going to get a call, hopefully soon.
It's over already, right?
Someone will say, hey, come play for us. Here's some cash. And Pendergast. Game now. Now, Pendergast over to Newsom, corner 3, in and out. He grabs the board, sends it up ahead to... There's Jackson, yep. Javon Jackson throws it down with one hand. 6.5 minutes to go. Zamboni's officially off the ice at the XL Energy Center. Meaning moments away from starting lineups. Ajayi creates some contact. Refs calling for a foul, or coaches rather, wanting a foul, but like Ajayi created that contact with his shoulder. Pendergast again from 3, long again. The sophomore certainly not afraid to light it up. Ajayi goes up. Pendergast looked like tapped him on the arm. Didn't look like much contact at all. Gas doesn't seem like did much. 20-point lead, 6 minutes to go exactly in this one. And the officials have taken the ice at the XL Energy Center for the state quarterfinal Class A matchup. South St. Paul and Laverne. That game should be underway in about 5 minutes. Evan Sutherland checking in and corralling a rebound. Tie up between him and Marion Suttles. Here come the Packers taking the ice now. And the Cardinals of Laverne. Skaters on the ice. Strong move again from Casanova Edwards. He's a sneaky strong dude. Number 12 in white. Muscling him. He's way down low to quite a few boards. Points tonight. Keon Moore answers with a similar play on the other end. as the Packers and the Cardinals line it up for player introductions. Right, trying a little ISO action on taken by the Polars. Upload this picture to the Pan Twitter account. Split screen action I've got going on here. Basketball on the left, broadcast software open. Watch the live stream just to see if there's any early goals. Nothing as of yet. Coach Tonda, I didn't even know. I'm reading the comment section here. Ella George, Kashawn Brooks advancing to the first ever girls state wrestling tournament. Absolutely, that is news. Coach, I didn't know. Got to advertise this a little bit better. 2 wrestlers. South St. Paul had the most girls wrestlers of any team in the state this year. 2 of them. Brooks and George head to the state tournament. Absolutely noteworthy. This is the first time hearing about this. We are going to bring you more boys and girls wrestling next year on the Pan, as they take place right in this very gym. To be a South St. Paul Packer. We're excited here to have the new network up and running, the Packer Activities Network. We can bring you coverage from this boys basketball team as long as they're playing in this gym. As Dodd went for the old off-the-butt pass to himself on the inbound, but he did not establish possession. Bounds prior to touching the ball, so that's as good as a turnover. My apologies to the entire wrestling network out there for first I've heard about how the girls' wrestling sections went. We would eventually love to have students traveling with teams as broadcasting, doing some journalism work here for the Pan. That's going to be one of our next projects coming up over the coming year or so. Get a group of students that want to help create content for the Pan. Also broadcast these games because I'm busy reffing 7 basketball games a week. Don't have time to sit down and do too many of these games. As you see our ploy across the bottom of the screen to advertise with the Packer Activities Network if you want to. We're talking to a couple businesses right now in the South St. Paul Open about how we can get rolling on some corporate sponsorships. But if you want to get the ball rolling, email the pan at apps.sspps.org. Hey, let's give that guy something else to talk about. AKA your business. We would love to have some commercials here to play during timeouts, during halftime. Or as I'm trying to cover 2 sporting events at the same time. Both teams on the blue line now. Anthem has been played. Moments away. What's starting up when the refs put their helmets on? 3.5 minutes to go in this game. John Moore screens to get Mua open. Mua tries to throw one back to Moore, but throws it to the team in white. And here comes Nino Johnson on the other end. Just got that one to sneak in, and then another timeout called by Coach Cornelius Gillian. The Packers huddle around goalkeeper Delaney Norman. That's pep talk for the girls as their state tournament run gets underway here. The inaugural season for girls wrestling as an officially sanctioned high school league sport. Said at one point the Packers had 15 girls wrestling. A couple that are still alive. On to the individual state tournament. There is no team state tournament this year, as I learned. Talked to Coach Nyhart, head coach for the boys team. Not enough teams quite yet having full squads to be able to run a girls' state tournament, but only a matter of time. Very cool to see pictures coming out of sections last week of bleachers full of girl wrestlers. Very cool. And again, congrats to Ella George, to Sean Brooks. They're going to wrestle next week. Here comes Wright. Ball poked away by Harmon. Wright drives left. Thinks about pulling up at the elbow. Gets down to the block. Has to shoot over the long arm of Alonzo Dodd, who collects an offensive rebound. Back out to West. Almost hit another three. That would have put him up around 30 for the night. Fouled on the rebound. As hockey has officially started. Seconds into the state quarterfinal matchup. Can't attempt for the Packers, thwarted by the keeper. I can't see any numbers. And even if I could, I don't know who any of them are. Did go to their section final game. It's the first high school hockey game I actually had ever been to. Never had hockey at any schools I ever went to or taught at until coming to South St. Paul this year. Which means it's probably time for the webcam to come back up. I am Tyler LaRose, broadcasting here on the Packer Activities Network. Some late season Metro East Conference basketball action. And also watching the girls' state quarterfinal hockey matchup against North. Payoffs underneath the basket, and someone's going to earn free throws for North. Looks like that is Conway. Again, hopefully that is Tyler Conway. This was number 32 in the program. Is being announced as number 3, and I think I missed. Yeah, South St. Paul just scored. Got a goal. So a hot start, 14-25, just a minute or so in to the game. A minute and a half into the game. Quick goal for the Packers. Puts them up. 1-0. Turning any audio on. Can't tell you exactly who that was. Couldn't see a number in the replay. But the Packers, inside of 2 minutes into the first, take the lead. It's Keon Moore. Tries again from the line. On the way to the corner. That's Tay Harmon slow to get up. West hits. I believe that now says 28 points for West. Todd goes up for the dunk, but had to go through Ajayi in the process. Also missed the dunk, for what it was worth. But it's senior night, might as well try and dunk. For those of us that never could dunk. Now, the home court for the final time this season. I think someone will fact check me. Coach Tondo will fact check me on that one, as she did with the wrestling. Edwards up and under, gets the contact and the bucket. As well try a dunk on senior night. Senior night is for winning and dunking. Oh, cool senior night before the game. All the players one at a time with a family member walked out to midcourt with LaRose. Took some pictures. Casanova Edwards can't get the three-point play to go. That is Dorian Caesar. Gets the bucket. Corner good from Keyshawn Jarman, 8th grader, hitting from the corner. Interesting to see what this South St. Paul lineup looks like next year. Playing almost exclusively seniors. Stages like this in the game. Really will be a fascinating offseason to see who steps up. Guys like Jarman. Devin Sutherland, number 34, who is in, down low on the post right now. McCampbell, number 23, guarding the inbounder. Gavin Pendergast, who we saw jack up a couple threes earlier in this one. Couple steps back. Long with the deep two. Caesar drives right. Is that Caesar or is that 24? I'm so far away I can't tell. That's number 24. That is Gerard Borsay. Freshman, just a freshman in the game now for North. That is number 14, who's not in the program. He's on the JV team. And with that last second attempt, we see tonight's Metro East boys basketball game come to a close. South St. Paul pulls away to a 24-point victory, over the North Polars. South St. Paul just steadily crept up and kept that lead growing after a slow start for both teams. We saw 6 total points scored in the first 7 or so minutes. Ending final score, South St. Paul 77, North 53. So one final time, we'll pull up the webcam I'm Tyler LaRose, bringing you tonight's action on the Packer Activities Network. And we'll leave you here with one final update from the Exxon Energy Center. Girls still up 1-0 on Laverne. 9 minutes to go in the first. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, especially everyone from up north watching from the other side of the interstate. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and we'll be bringing you some more action next week here on the Packers Activities Network. So with that being said, win for the Packers. I would tell everyone here to have a safe ride home, but if you're watching, you're probably already there. So enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you for watching.